What's up, guys? I hope everybody is having a fantastic day. I hope you guys are having a good week. I hope you're out there crushing it, staying positive, making things happen. And most importantly, I hope you all are enjoying your life because that's what life is all about. Even through all of the struggles and hardships that we go through, we can still find comfort in the chaos. And that's what we're all about here. Is finding comfort in the chaos. Killer intro today. That's top three for sure. Enough sarcasm. Can you guys hear my cold? I've got a bit of a cold, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's allergies or the seasons are changing, but in Texas, it is a little bit cooler than it has been, so maybe that's what's going on. But nonetheless, we gonna get her done, son. All right, today. Let's talk about. Uh, let's talk about how weird the world is. Uh, and I'm not talking about like weird people or weird events that are happening and going on. I'm talking about uh, isn't it just weird? Like let's think about how weird it actually is. How weird thing sometimes how weird it is the way that things work out. Sometimes they work out. You never ever would have expected them to work out the way that they did. And hindsight's always 2020, meaning looking back on it, it makes sense how all the pieces fit together now. But when you're going through it or you're about to enter something new or you're making a transition, or you're trying to go approach a target or a goal or something new in life, um, you may be juggling several different things at once, and you know, keep failing, and this falls through, and that falls through, and this falls through, and that falls through. And then once you get to the other side, you realize why all of those things didn't work out. And it's for reasons that you never, ever could have anticipated or dreamt of. A lot of times it's like that. A lot of times maybe it's not super serious, but I want to tell you guys a story today. So check this out. I'm sure millions of you can relate, the millions of you that are watching this video, that is. I'm sure millions of you could relate to this out there in the world, especially true if you live in the United States of America. Um, Recently, I was in the job market. I was all the way locked in looking for a new sales job because I'm a sales guy. I love sales. I'm a sales evangelist, if you will, enthusiast, yes, perhaps. I think sales is the best career that anyone could have, especially if you're extroverted and enjoy speaking with others as much as I do. Now, I find myself in the midst of looking for a new sales job. SDR position, if you're familiar, sales development representative. We will break that down in a subsequent video. Stay tuned. Either way, entry level sales job at a company. Usually, what happens is you start off there, you prove yourself, you work your way up, and you get promoted into a better position. But these are your entryway into a lot of technology companies as an SDR. And so I figured, it can't be that hard to get an SDR job. Wrong. It was actually pretty challenging. So let's say I put in about 130 applications. Hmm, I got 5 interviews with 5 different companies. Put in about 100 20 to 150 applications. And I will make a subsequent video. Maybe I'll do a video series on how to get a sales job or how to get jobs in general, because I figured out the solution. So, long story short, I'm interviewing with two different companies simultaneously, both of which have the same start date. Now, they have separate duties. One of them has I'll be more specific so this isn't super vague and I can actually make a fucking point for once. One of them is a pure sales development job. You're making cold calls, sending cold emails, using LinkedIn, you're booking meetings, passing that to an account executive who is then going to close the deal. So that person you called and booked the meeting with can then become a customer. That's all you do. You do that for about 6 months to a year. If you suck, you do it for 2 years, and then you get promoted into the account executive position, so on and so forth. The other position was for a full cycle outbound account executive where you're doing all of that, booking the meeting stuff, but instead of passing the meeting on to somebody else, you run the meeting yourself and it's a one call close, boom, sign on. Now you're a customer. So the full cycle sales position was work from home. The other SDR position was hybrid, in the office 3 days a week, from home 2 days a week. The full cycle account executive position had a base, well, not a base. So sales compensation is usually divvied up into, instead of having a base salary or an hourly wage, we have what's called an on-target earnings. Because if you know anything about sales, you know that you're held to quotas and you're held to monthly metrics and pipeline and so on and so forth. Sales compensation is usually divided up into a composite of your base salary and a draw against that, which is usually in the form of commissions. Now, the on-target earnings for the work from home full cycle position was about $20,000 extra a year. However, come to find out, speaking to several people on the inside of the company, most of their reps are exceeding their quotas and making, $40,000 to $60,000 over the on-target earnings, which was, so we're talking about about $75,000 more annually per year than the other job. I really wanted it because I wanted the money, quite frankly. It seemed like a way harder position. It seemed like it was more cutthroat, more demanding. It seemed like it was going to be more stressful, more rigid, definitely more systematized, more micromanaged. The people seemed pretty cool, but there seemed like to be a level of disingenuous is probably not the right word. There seemed to be a certain level of like they really don't care about you, that I picked up on during the interview process. Almost like they were annoyed that they had to interview you. Now, the other company was the total complete opposite. Although their on-target earnings were about, $20,000 less, almost. That's not right. I need to do my math better. Actually, yeah, that's pretty close. Although that their on-target earnings were a lot lower, come to find out after the fact that there's a tremendous amount of opportunity. And there's people in the company that are making far over. There are people in the company that are making more than what they were making at the other company, come to find out. Either way, although this company didn't on paper have as great benefits and stuff, I like this industry better. I like the people that I interviewed with better. I like their interviewing process, their style better. I like the position where the company was at in terms of growth opportunities. Uh, I like the product that they were selling. Again, yeah, people were fantastic. Oh, and their office is less than a mile from where I live. I could walk there in 15 minutes. And this is a company, interestingly enough, where they have a lot of Australian employees. In fact, 99% of their employees live in Sydney or Australia. Most of them in Sydney, from what I understand, or near Sydney. And they've got a few of the Aussies over here filling in until they can get some U.S. people hired, and then they're going back home in a couple of weeks. Either way, go in the office first day. I love these guys. It's super laid back. It's relaxed. They're very inviting, very welcoming, very helpful, very supportive, super sharp, buttoned up. Checks all the boxes except for the payment thing. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. But we can figure that out because I'm going to get commissions and this, that, and come to find out there are people making, double what the on target earnings are, this, that, and the other. And, what really struck me, and I couldn't really, today was the day that I was like, oh, I can see why I got this job and not the other one. I didn't realize how deprived and how much I actually hated working from home until I got back in the office this week. I've been working in the office Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm recording this on Thursday. It'll go out, I guess, on Saturday, I think. So 3 days full time in the office. Come home today and I'm like, oh my God, I feel so good. My mental clarity, my focus, my discipline, my consistency, my effort, my mental health, my happiness, my ability to learn and navigate issues effectively in the workplace, it doesn't even compare. Now that I'm in person, the fact that all these companies let people work from home is a fucking joke. Nonetheless, I digress. I was walking around with my teammates from Oz. They call it Australia Oz for short. I didn't know that. Leave me a comment below if you knew that. Bet you did. Here in the US, bet you didn't. And I made a joke. I was serious. There was some serious intent behind it, but I made it, like laughingly, kind of like, yeah, you guys are going back home in a couple of weeks. I was like, well, let me knock out like a 30K month in commissions, and then I'll put a little cheese to the side, and I'll take me a little flight. I'll come down there and visit you guys for a week or two and work down there with you guys, whatever. And they were like, yeah, that would be great and stuff. And then one of the guys, one of my buddies, he's like, just stay here for a little while and do good here, and just tell them that you want to transfer, and they'll probably just transfer you down there. And a fucking electric light bulb went off in my brain that said, holy shit, I might could live in Australia at some point. And this is realistic. This isn't something that is just fucking uh, one of those fairy tale things, like, or something that you think of, but you're like, well, fuck, if I had to do that, that's crazy. I did it. No, this could be something that could be a realistic possibility. And in my cards, in my heart, I do want to live outside of the U.S. for at least a year of my life. Fuck, dude, I don't know. Maybe I go to Australia. This is what I'm saying. This is all I'm saying. I wanted this other job, and I wanted another job before that, and a different one before that. Now, had I not got to where I am now, I wouldn't say I was devastated when I didn't get the other job, because I didn't get the full cycle one. I didn't get an offer. I wouldn't say I was devastated, but there was a part of me that was like, fuck, I lost out on that revenue. Like, damn it. I could not foresee. I love the people I work with. I feel so good about where we're at. There's a tremendous amount of growth. Boom, boom, boom. Plus, I might be moving to Australia at some point. I've been thinking about it for the rest of the evening, and I'm like, fuck, maybe that's why I needed to take this job. And I can see the future kind of playing out before me. in this position. But all this to say, I hope you guys enjoyed that story. I think from now on, like these long-winded sort of storytelling rants is going to be a big part of what we do here. But nonetheless, I couldn't see that from the outside. I just saw on paper like, fuck, this place has better benefits over here. There's more money over here. They're hitting quota more over here. Over here, yeah, it's cool and stuff, but like money, and money is fucking not everything. It is a big, 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 big thing, and there's a tremendous amount of money, but to be made at this company that I'm at. But the money will come. There's other things that we don't know what, if you want to call it God, whatever term you want to put on it. Divine energy, the universe, fucking fairy dust, whatever you want to call it. There are things that are guiding us and dictating the terms of our life underneath everything, behind the scenes, that we have very little control over. And a lot of times we can't connect the pieces until we're already on the other side, right? I don't know who, I think there's a famous quote from somebody that says, I need to look this up. You can only, it's something to this effect. You can only connect the pieces while you're looking back. Something like that. I feel like Steve Jobs or Rockefeller or somebody profound like that said it. Yeah, you can only connect the pieces. You can only put the pieces together when you're looking back on it. Some shit like that. It's probably not whatever. But yeah, life is weird. And look, if you're not getting that job, if you're not getting that date, if you're not going out, with the girl you want, if you don't get that promotion, if you don't get that apartment, if you don't get approved for that loan, blah, 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 if you don't get into that university, all this shit is happening for a reason. And most of the time, from what I've observed, seems like it's over our heads and it's something that we can't really understand why it happened until it happened. So trust the process and realize that every time something doesn't work out for you, it ain't the end of the fucking world. And furthermore, it's just leading you to whatever you're supposed to be at. And you won't be able to connect the pieces until you're looking back. I don't think that's the exact quote, but that's how the video is going to end. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I want you to like, comment, share, subscribe. And till next time, as the Aussies say, cheers.